Hello, everybody. I hope that you're well and that you're having the best week. A huge welcome to my channel. Today, I'm very excited because I woke up this morning and I literally had a burst of energy, which has resulted in writing newsletters, recording videos, writing a whole bunch of posts, and I've managed to do it in a few hours. And I'm going to take days like this. Before I jump into today's topic, which is all about, I want more visibility in my business, but, and then ... right? So before I dive into that topic, I just briefly wanted to share something. I'm currently doing a bit of an experiment. So within human design, there is a calendar available, which I will publish the image of down below so that you can have a look at it. And within this calendar, it basically tells you each day which human design gate is active and which profile line is active. Now, the human design gate will tell you kind of the theme. So the theme that you may be thinking of that might be showing up in your day. And then the profile line is essentially your personality line. And it's really been interesting. And I'm only on day 2 of this experiment. So if you haven't already, please feel free to go over to my Substack and just take a peek there and subscribe. It's all free. The only reason to subscribe is really just so you can get notified, because I'm publishing the notes on each day as I go through. And honestly, it's been fascinating. Yesterday was a line 6 day. So it was all about kind of being a bit more aloof. And to be honest, yesterday, I didn't want anyone to talk to me. I kind of had my head down at home. I was very, very quiet, and if you had seen me yesterday, you kind of would have gone, what happened to bubbly Effie? And I really, really kind of just shut myself away. And today is all about line 1, which is all about kind of investigation, research, planning. And I think really where this burst of energy has come from, and what I've done is I've got this diary, let me show you. I had this diary which was bought for my birthday. Isn't it lovely? Brilliant diary. And I'm thinking we need to do something better than this. But basically, I'm journaling every single day. What I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and whether it actually resonates to these lines. And tomorrow is all about being a line 2, which is all about the hermit. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens tomorrow. But the other interesting part to this as well is the gate theme. So the last couple of days, we've been in gate 19. And gate 19 is actually where my conscious sun sits, which is my purpose. And so it's all about the gate of wanting. And it's all about kind of sensing the needs of others. Now, the interesting thing about this gate for me is that it is a huge, huge part of who I am. So being able to go into a room and sense the needs of others, speaking to other people, sensing their needs, wanting to be able to help as much as possible. It's not people pleasing. It's actually part of how I am designed. But the interesting thing is that the gate 19 is looking to connect with gate 49, which is the humanitarian channel. And I don't have that full channel. I only have gate 19 defined. And so it's been really interesting because yesterday the thoughts in my head were like, save the world, save humanity. How can I make a huge impact in the business world? And not from an ego point of view, but from the point of helping people and what do people need? And it was just really funny that I had this energy that I just normally wouldn't have. And I literally found myself yesterday sitting there going, what is going on? This is so bizarre. And then today that seems to have settled, and I seem to be in kind of this more doing mode where it's very exploratory. And obviously I do that a lot through my writing and through talking. And I think that's why I've woken up today and wanting to do these mechanisms. So it's almost like I had this aloof period yesterday with the line 6, which is what was showing on the calendar. And then today is line 1, where I'm actually kind of being more active. So it's really interesting. So we're only on day 2. It's very exciting. But as I said, if it's something that's of interest, and just to see how the rest of this month pans out, by all means, please do subscribe to my Substack. I'll pop the link below, and then you can catch up on the notes as well, because I'd love to be able to do a video each day, but I just don't think it's going to be practical. So I'm going to just write some notes, and then hopefully you can have access those. Okay, right. Today's topic. I want more visibility in my business, but ... I often ask business owners, where do you need the most support? And the response that I receive is always more visibility. And when we say more visibility, we tend to also mean more sales. And because we're existing in a digital world, visibility and sales tends to go hand in hand. So I'm talking to everybody when I talk about this video, because when I talk about the theme of this video, because this week I was involved in a lot of personal branding, and I was present for a lot of different photos, different conversations, and it really, really kind of inspired this topic for this week. And it became so obvious to me that the mechanism of taking a photo really shows us and highlights the areas that we struggle with when we are wanting to be visible. So what do I mean by that? Well, when we take a photo, how many of you have sat there and said, no, don't like that photo. No, I don't like how my hair looks. No, my glasses. No, don't like how they sit on my face. Or I'm not sure, no, don't like what I'm wearing. I look a bit bigger than that, etc., etc., etc. And we say all of these unkind things to ourselves. And I literally sat back this week and watched this happen. And this particular person was a seasoned entrepreneur. And so it just really drove home to me that it's something I think we constantly battle with, right? No matter how confident you are. So I don't want, if you identify as an introvert, I don't want you looking out thinking that one day, it's easy for the extroverts, or the extroverts kind of looking at the introverts saying, oh, it's easy for you because you don't have to do this. It's for everybody. It doesn't really matter what label you give yourself. It seems to be that we are quite unkind to ourselves when we are putting ourselves out there. And a mechanism of a photo really highlights the shadow elements of our thoughts. So I talk about shadow elements as talking to our not self. They're the things that we often say to us that can be unkind, that can be a bit tough on ourselves, that can question ourselves, that can create challenges for us where maybe we don't feel so confident. And it's always the but scenario, right? Oh, I will take that photo, but not right now. I'm going to have that photo, but I want to have my hair done first, etc., etc. I want to go on TV, I don't know, QVC, and show my product, but I want to lose a ton of weight first. It's that but on the visibility side. And so as a first step, one of the things that I wanted to encourage you all is to just practice taking photos. And by the way, this is something that has been a theme for me recently, because I really, really, really want to show up as myself, as Effie Moss, and to stop hiding behind the names of my businesses. And I've been doing that for a long time, by the way. So this is actually a challenge for me as well. And this week, on top of doing personal branding for some clients, I also was taking different photos for me. And it was hilarious. I did the same. I sat there going, nope, didn't like my expression there. Nope, wasn't sure of that. Would that really, is that how I want to be seen? Oh, no, can't wear that top because it makes my shoulders look strange. And I sat there and then I caught myself and thought, why are you saying all this rubbish to yourself? Why are you putting obstacles in the way of showing up for yourself? And when we think about our businesses require us to stand in front of them and to tell people about our business, right? Increasing visibility for your business increases the reach. If we increase the reach, we increase engagement. If we increase engagement, then we increase sales. Okay, so visibility really is quite important. Now, the other part of all of this is I'm going into weave in human design here as well. In that, if you look at your human design chart and you look at your profile line, so this is what we call your personality. Okay, so I'm a 4-6, they're two numbers, right? The first number is how you see yourself. And then the second number is how other people see you. And it's really interesting when you look at just at the profile lines through that lens, okay? And I'll give you a bit of an example here, and we'll talk about my lovely hubs. And you all know how much I adore my hubs. So Clive is an introvert, like through and through, and he would identify as a hermit. And hilariously, his profile is a 2-4, and the 2 is the hermit side and the 4 is the people side. So he sees himself as this hermit, this person that's very, he's a recluse, kind of likes dark caves. I mean, he's hilarious. I mean, he and I are just hilarious together because I'm so bubbly. And he likes his own time and his own space. And, over 24 years that we've been together, that has not changed, right? So he identifies himself as this hermit. And then he has this other part of his profile, which is the 4, and that's very much around being a people person. So if you were to see my husband and he started talking to you, you would think he's quite chatty, he's talking to you about something that maybe he's interested in. But this is the key. As a 2-4, you have to call him out on topics that he is interested in, that he wants to talk about and share. He's not going to talk to you about anything and everything. He's not going to fill a space with words, right? He's going to talk to you about something if he sees that you share a common interest. So he loves music, right? Absolutely loves music. And he's an avid concert goer. And one of the things I find fascinating is that in over 20 odd years that he has been going to concerts, I'd probably stretch that to like the end of the 20 odd scale. He's often says to me, he'll go to London and then he'll see buildings that used to hold concerts in, and now they've been condemned or they've been changed to a pub or something else, or maybe it's still there. And I always say to him, this is just like really fascinating that you hold so much history in your bones because you were there, right? How amazing would that be on some kind of like YouTube channel? And his response to me is always, I don't want to show my face. Now, I like a challenge, so I'll let you know how that coaching goes. But my point being is that he identifies himself as a hermit, as the 2 in his profile. And because of that, he's decided that, he does not want to share that information and that knowledge. And he's essentially stopping himself from kind of putting that forward and for that information to then be shared with others. He doesn't have to do it, right? He doesn't have to. But wouldn't it be nice if he did? Imagine how many people would be so interested in what he had to share. But if the 4 side of him, when that's active and he spots people who are interested in music or films, records, concerts, Pearl Jam, anything like that, they will call him out and talk to him about that because that's the 4 in his profile that is active, right? So when it comes down to visibility, he's stopping himself here because he actually thinks, well, I'm a hermit and that's part of my profile and that's all I am. When in fact, there's another part of his personality that he's completely missing, which is that when he's talking about and showing up and doing the things that he loves and that he's passionate about, actually, he then becomes a people person and can actively engage and have really great conversations. And the reason that I am telling you this is because we all show up differently. I've decided, for example, that I like the mechanism of video. I like to talk. If you know me, you know I like to talk. And I also like to write. So this is why now I've launched my Substack, and that's something that I'm committed to. And I'm writing over there. And I'm very happy. They are my mechanisms. But I'm still being visible, okay? My voice can still be heard in my writing. And you can still hear from me and connect with me, I hope, through my videos. And yes, I'm using Instagram or maybe Facebook, for example, to drive traffic to those channels. And I'm doing some posts and things over there. But essentially, they're my core channels that I have chosen for my business and for me to be able to express myself through and to be able to connect and create my community. So visibility doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. And the reason that I know that I love to teach and that I also love to write is not just because I know that about myself, and I have not denied myself those skills, is because within my human design chart, I can actually see that they are the skills that I have, and they're the skills that best suit my gifts to be expressed through. But if I look at something like my profile lines, I am a 4-6. So I see myself as a people person, and I am very, very chatty. It's how I see myself. You can put me in a room and off I go. But then I have this 6 side of me, which is what other people see me as, which is to be this wise sage, which is a term that's really interesting for me because I notice that when I hear that, I go, oh, so there's some work to be done there. But the 6 is all about people coming to me for knowledge. And that's happened my whole life. They'll come to me and ask me about business. They'll ask me about, themes, content, marketing, setting up a business, funding, you name it. And it normally is something that I've had experience of throughout my whole life. And that's where the 6 kicks in. So now if I put them together, I have this 4, which is all about community and people. So building community is something very natural to me. So when I'm thinking about my visibility, I'm thinking, well, where can I build community? How can I build community to connect with people? And also the special thing about the 4 is that you work with, you don't need to work with large groups of people, right? It's your people. You're not going to be something for everyone. And you know that as with a 4 in your profile. Then you have this 6. And for me, the 6 is all about knowledge and information. So how can I best share that? Well, if I'm over here building community and that I know through my chart, because I had the channel of surrender, so the 44 to 26, if I know that that channel is all about marketing and sales, and I know that within that it's also community, and I have the 19 gate within my purpose as well, so I'm sensing other people's needs and I'm wanting to give people all this information and be able to help them. If I put all of that together, then the way I show up needs to be able to kind of tick those things. And it's I'm hoping I'm not making it sound complicated, because it really isn't. And all human design does is it kind of, sometimes I think, polishes what you already know about yourself, or gives you the answers to the questions you may have been asking about yourself. You know, history is a wonderful thing, because actually if you can look back, you know, that will tell you the themes in your life where you felt excited and the themes that aren't for you. And I think when you show up in terms of visibility for your business, you already know pretty much what you love to do and what you don't. What's happened along the way is that you've probably had people say, oh no, don't do it over on Instagram, it's too hard. Don't do TikToks because reels are a nightmare. You know, don't write because it takes so long. Oh, YouTube's a complete pain to grow, so don't do videos or waste your time. And those stories we just kind of take on like a sponge, and then we believe them, and then that's what stops us from showing up. Whereas if we just sat with ourselves with a human design chart and look at your profile lines, your personality lines, then you'll be able to kind of piece together and get a very clear view as to how and when you can show up, right? And be able to support your business. So let me give you a little bit of a view, because I don't just want to chat, because I do chat quite a bit, and I'm just I've written something here and I just want to make sure that I've got it here, because I want to make sure that I'm correct here. So let me tell you a couple of things. I will be doing shortly lots and lots of videos on all of this. So if you have like a, I don't know, a 1-5 or a 2-6 or a 2-3 in your chart and you're not sure what any of those means, shortly I'll be releasing all the little videos about that. So please bear with me. But for the minute, let me just give you some of the profile lines and a little bit of information around them to help you sit with that and work out whether the way that you are showing up is the right way for you. And secondly, whether the stories you are telling yourself really are the right empowering stories that are filling you up, or whether actually you could change the perspective a little bit. So the first line profile is line 1. And I should say that line 1 is all about being a knowledge seeker. And this is somebody, and it's sometimes called the investigator, and that's pretty much it. It's somebody who likes to go and find things out for themselves, go and research, go and plan, go and inquire. You know, the one, if you've got a line 1 in your profile and I told you that the sky is blue, you're likely going to tell me, oh, I'm not quite sure about that. I need to go and find that out for myself. My daughter has a 1 in her profile, and I should say it's a complete nightmare, but also I'm so glad that I know because it could create so much friction, especially when you're trying to advise her and she doesn't want to know because she wants to go and find it out for herself, right? So that's all about line 1. Line 2 I've already spoken about with Clive, and that's very much the hermit. So I like to say it's the hermit because actually what I really mean by that is somebody who likes their own time. They need their own time to fill their cup back up. They need their own time to be able to rest, to integrate the experiences and learnings that they're having in their life. You know, and that's really, really important to them. So if you have somebody in your life that has a 2 in them and they like to be in another room in the evening and maybe you're downstairs watching the telly, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong, you know. Oh, well, maybe there's some other things in your relationship, but like, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong if you just looked at it in the black and white scheme of kind of the role of the 2. The 3 is all about the experimenter. This is somebody who likes adventure and experiences. They're likely to be somebody who may probably like to move a lot, maybe travel a lot. You know, there's somebody that has to go and have those different life experiences. And if they stand still, they're likely to get very, very, very bored. Okay. The 4 is the people person, which I've already explained to you. The one thing extra that I will add about the people person is that it's not about being a people person to everybody. It's about being a people person to your people. And you will know through your senses. So for example, my sense is feeling, that's my spidey sense. I will know by my feeling whether somebody is right for me or not. And it's perfectly okay to not be in the company of somebody that isn't right for you, because that'll just suck your energy, right? So it's all about cultivating your community, your people who you want to surround you with so that it can light you up. Okay. Line 5 is the teacher, and this is typically somebody who have life experiences, come back to their community and share that wisdom and that knowledge. They tend to have a save the day energy around them, and they tend to be somebody that people will come to for advice. So it's like, oh, this has happened and I'm not sure what to do. What do you think? And that tends to be the line 5 who will respond to that. What do you think? Okay. The line 6 is the wise sage. So this is somebody who tends to have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge about the experiences that they've had in their life, and they tend to be called out by other people and lent on by other people to share that wisdom and that knowledge. And also you'll notice with the 6 as well, they tend to be able to accumulate followers. People like to somehow follow them and support them, and sometimes you don't do anything for that. So really that's the 1 to 6. The other thing I'll say is that if you have a lines 1, 2, and 3, they tend to be experiences that you experience through relationships, your personal relationships, right? If it's 4, 5, and 6, then it tends to be something with yourself. Okay, so it tends to be like experiences with yourself. So for example, as a 4, 6, mine tend to be experiences with myself rather than with other people. So just something to bear in mind. The 1 to 6 lines actually come from the Chinese I Ching. And if you're ever interested in reading about that, it's fascinating. It's the Chinese I Ching, and actually the 64 gates in human design are similar to the 64 hexagrams in the Chinese I Ching. And if you ever saw what that looks like, it's like a little square with lots of little lines, and it's those little lines that make up the 1 to 6 profiles. So if anything that you do today is go and have a look at your human design chart and just see what your profile number is. And feel free to just, comment below or send me a message on any one of my channels, and just let me know what you are. And then just have a think about it. If you're a 1, so you're somebody who likes to, who's a knowledge seeker, who likes to investigate, who likes to go and research and things like that. If you have that, and that's how you see yourself, as in it's the first number that you have, think about that when you are showing up. Are you sharing that information? Are you talking about it, right? But then if you have, say, like a 3 in your profile, that's all about experiences. Are you showing up talking about your experiences within your business or experiences within your life? If you're a 6, are you talking about the wisdom that you have gained? Are you teaching people and showing people something that you already know? Now, there are lots of other pieces that come to play with human design, but I also think that the profiles is really interesting, especially when you're thinking about visibility and how you show up. The other part of all of this as well is that my ask is that if you are unsure about showing up, go take a photo of yourself. Just take a photo of yourself and tell yourself you're going to post that photo. And then watch how many times you take that photo, how many times you critique that photo. Write down the words and things that you are saying or record them. Just hear yourself say them back, and then sit there and just say to yourself, would I say that to somebody else? And the answer is very likely no. So then my comment is, then why are you saying them to yourselves? Yes, showing up can be scary. Yes, showing up can feel very uncomfortable, but we deliberately seem to create a space with visibility where we create this like fear. And if we don't remove the fear, we're never really going to break through and be able to stand in front of ourselves and our businesses and show the world, who we are and what we have to offer. And we really, 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 really need more of that. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. I hope that you found it useful. As I said, I will have more videos that are coming around each of the different areas. So this all will start to make sense, because I'm fully aware that I'm just talking about a broader topic. But if you've got any questions or comments, please let me know below. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, I would so love your support to subscribe to the channel. Feel free to share as well. That would be awesome. And I will speak to you all very soon. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves. Bye.